Adephagia, the Greek goddess of gluttony here. For those of you who have not heard of me yet, I am a minor harvest goddess who works under Demeter, which means I know a lot about food, way more than any so-called wellness influencer. And I see that once again, wellness influencers are trying to scare you away from Costco Rotisserie chicken. Please keep in mind that today's wellness influencer is tomorrow's Fox News host. There is nothing wrong with eating Costco rotisserie chicken, unless, of course, you happen to be allergic to one or more of the spices that they use. You're not going to get any plastic in the chicken from the bag. That is food grade plastic that has an insanely high melting point. Don't worry about the plastic bag, okay? They'll tell you to buy organic chicken. Now, let's talk a little bit about organic. When it comes to organic crops, they use extremely toxic, non-biodegradable pesticides such as copper sulfate and iron sulfate in extremely high amounts. Yes, organic farming does use pesticides despite what you've been told. These pesticides do not wear off. They are extremely hard to wash off, and they are extremely damaging to the environment. When you buy organic, you are contributing to climate change. Also, organic crops produce fewer crops while taking up way more land and way more water. Genetically modified crops and traditionally farmed crops use fewer pesticides. The pesticides that they do use wear off after 2 or 3 weeks, are very easy to wash off, and they biodegrade. Plus, they produce more crops with less land and less water. So when you're buying traditionally farmed and genetically modified crops, you are fighting climate change. GMOs are completely safe. And in fact, in some cases, they have more nutrition than the so-called organic stuff. Did you know that there's a rice called golden rice that is so high in vitamin A, it can actually prevent children from going blind? Yes, wouldn't you rather have that rice that could save children's eyesight rather than the organic one that is contaminated with copper sulfate? As far as organic chickens and organic beef and organic pork and all that, look, while I admit that for you Americans out there, unless you stand up and get RFK Jr. fired, you might have certain laws reversed, but it has been illegal to sell dairy, eggs, meat with antibiotics and added hormones since the 1950s and 1960s. There is no antibiotics in your food. There is no added hormones, because there are hormones that occur naturally, but there is no added hormones. That nonsense you hear about, oh, they give chickens all these hormone shots to make them fully grow in 6 weeks. Yeah, all those shots, they're vaccines. So there's no reason to buy organic in the first place when it comes to milk, beef, eggs, and so on. And here's the thing. When it comes to the organic farming of animals, all that means is when that animal is sick, they do not give it any antibiotics to help it get well. They either let it suffer and pass away from its illness, they sell it to somebody who doesn't do organic farming so that animal can get help, or the animal has to happen to get well without any antibiotics. And it's animal cruelty not to treat an animal that's sick with antibiotics, just like it's child abuse not to vaccinate your children. You heard me. So, stay away from organic if you want safe food to eat that is good for the environment. Organic is actually bad. Traditionally farmed and GMOs are safe and good and better for you and better for the environment. And don't listen to wellness influencers, because not a single one of them knows what they're talking about.